Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to iTREND on ITV. I'm your host, Zaheerah Bham Ismail. Keeping with the name of the show, iTREND, we are bringing to you what is trending over this weekend. And if you haven't been on any form of social media, you would have surely missed the biggest events taking place in Johannesburg this weekend. If you're not in Johannesburg, make every effort to drive down over the weekend, because we have got the Halal Goods Market taking place this weekend and the Jozi Books and Blogs Festival. So this is truly a weekend to feed not only your tummy, but also to feed your mind. And we are chatting to the organizers of both events to tell us what they have in store for you. So first on our show are the organizers of Jozi Books and Blogs Festival, a name that is always repeated on our show, a person who recommends many of the local authors to us and tells us which books we need to be having on our show after she does many reviews of them. Zaheerah Asfad and Munira Kareem. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Thanks for having us.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for having us.
It's such a pleasure to have you both here. I know that there has been months of preparation going into this. I've seen it on WhatsApp messages, on groups, on Facebook, on Instagram, on all social media. There is a huge hype about Jozi Books and Blogs Festival. At a time when people are going towards Kindle, moving away from reading, getting onto the computers and that, you are literally reviving the spirit again of picking up books in hands. How are you finding the response has been?
The response has been really good. We've got lots of authors that want to come on board this year as compared to last year. So that has been really good.
And Zaheerah, you have literally, this is a collaboration between a number of local authors and publishing companies. That's quite a task, because every week I've been seeing the list increasing and increasing. I see many familiar faces. I see many new faces on there. How have you managed to put all of that together?
So Books and Blogs is about literary folks. So we've got journalists, we've got authors, we've got bloggers, we've got everybody involved. And it's just that this year everyone just wanted to get on board. So it was actually planning the program, what sessions I wanted, that type of thing, trying to pull people into those sessions.
So there's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes.
And I'm very tired now.
I'm sure. Munira, you've also been involved with Jozi Books and Blogs Festival from the admin perspective.
Yes, I have. I was actually on board last year as well. And then Zaheerah asked me, would you still be interested this year? And I said, of course, yes, because it was a ton of fun, a big learning curve, and an awesome opportunity. Yeah.
Many people ask why this is not in Johannesburg. Why have you specifically chosen to do it in Lenasia?
Because we have a lot of these type of events in Johannesburg, in the northern suburbs, like you've got Kingsmead Book Fair.
Yes.
But we don't have something like that in Lenasia, in our smaller communities. So that's what we wanted to do. But what I want to point out this year is that we've got the school on board. So SBSM School has come on board. They're helping us with a lot of things. We've got Munira from Mask Events, and we've got Rosh Girl News. So it's all of us together that's doing this year.
So this is growing every single year with more people buying into it, seeing the value behind what's being done.
Yes.
Okay. Munira, tell me what your role is in the Books and Blogs Festival.
Okay, so I'm from Mask Events. I co-own Mask Events with my partners Sumaya and Anabai. We've started basically markets in Lenasia since 2011, and markets to help the community, basically a platform for small businesses and home industries. So along the way Zaheerah and I became friends, and she included me last year in the Jozi's BBF planning, as well as I do the marketing side for the stalls itself. So if authors want to be selling their books, publish houses want to be selling books, secondhand book dealers, people dealing in educational toys, those kind of things that would be of interest to Jozi's BBF, as well as helping them market their small businesses and their books as well.
So for anybody who loves books, this is a treasure trove of goodies to come and see.
It definitely is, because like I said, we've got second-hand book dealers, so if you're looking for old classics that you haven't been finding, you probably will find them there. And then yes, all the authors and panelists that are going to be there, which are over 65 personnel, I think. Yeah, all their stuff is going to be for sale on Sunday as well.
Which is fantastic. I have to tell you, one of my fondest memories growing up, we used to often be on holiday in Pietermaritzburg, and there was a second-hand bookstore down the road where you could do a book swap. And I often wonder why we don't have that anymore. I would literally spend every morning running, swapping my books, getting back in the afternoon, going to swap it again so that I had something new for the the evening. And it was such a wonderful way to encourage reading amongst the youth. And I'm hoping that something like a book swap comes along from this event as well.
Yes. I actually think that it's a good idea. We should have something like that in our smaller communities.
Absolutely.
It will work.
I think it definitely
Yeah.
will. And I love the smell of books. So the minute you're saying secondhand bookstores, I love the smell of new books, of old
Yeah.
books. I just love being around it. I'm not a Kindle kind of person, so for me, books always work.
Yes.
What are the highlights that people can look forward to? Because we know many of our local authors. We have had many on our show during the book sessions that you've introduced to our show as well. Who are the new ones that we can look forward to?
Okay, so this year, like last year, we've got our adult sessions and we've got our teen sessions and we've got our children's sessions. So for our authors, we've got Pamela Powers coming to do a teen writing workshop. And the thing is, Zaheerah, let me explain to you how worth it is because she's doing a workshop now at the moment where she's teaching people who want to do writing. It's over 5 sessions, 5,500 Rand. But she's doing a 1.5 hour session with the teens to teach them dialogue.
Fantastic.
That's like for free.
So
it's totally for free.
This is access to South African talent.
Yes.
And literally all you've got to do is just get to the event.
Yes.
And
no
what
cost.
But that was, I was going to say, there has to be some cost implication involved.
There's no cost. It's just the 10 Rand entrance, 10 Rand and 5 Rand. Like Munira and I were talking in the car, that every event you see on Facebook nowadays is 300 Rand, 150 Rand, everything is money.
Yes.
And this year you're gonna get a full day of entertainment. For the kids, it's gonna be major in entertainment. There's puppet shows, there's book readings. We've got Stacey Fru, that 12-year-old author. I think she's 11 years old now, but she published her first book at the age of 7. She's gonna be there. So it's inspiration. It's inspiration for our kids.
Zaheerah, is there a process of having, or Munira, a process of pre-booking these events?
No,
Do we need to, or is it
unfortunately
just
not.
on a first-come,
It's on a first-come, first basis. It was too much to handle that as well.
I'm sure, I'm sure.
Because we've got Pamela Power doing her writing workshop, and at the same time, a parallel workshop will be Amira Patel. Amira Patel is an award-winning theatre actress, but she's also written a book called Outside the Lines, which was long-listed for the Perry Ronger book prize. So she's going to be doing a parallel workshop. So if 30 learners go into Pamela Power, there's always 30 that can go into Amira Patel's. Then we've got blogging workshops to teach teens how to blog and to teach adults how to blog. So whoever wants to know how do I blog, how do I start up a blog, we've got bloggers on board in a computer center teaching them for free, 1.5 hours for free.
This is a wealth of information.
Yes, it
Literally,
is.
you're saying, we're giving you everything you'll need.
We're giving you everything.
It's
Everything.
fantastic.
And then there's discussions also. So we start off the day with a very interesting discussion where we've got our young talents. So Surya Dadu is chairing the session with Ijaz Khan, Riaz Safi, all those big guys that are out there, Fred Kamalo. We've got a whole lot, we've got about 7 of them on that panel about how they were once lighties. They were once lighties and now they're successful, but how were they lighties? How did they become successful?
And I love the fact that you're actually bringing that sort of information to our youth to say that, you know what, everybody's walked a journey. It's hard work, it's perseverance, but we'll give you the tools on how to get there yourself.
Yes, and then we've got another session for teen, like the girls, if they want to go, with our powerful, successful women that are out there. Khadija Patel.
Yes, and I saw Rihanna Musaji is also on the panel.
Rihanna Musaji, Nestle Hamilton. We've got a range of authors there as well, a range of people, personnel that are there as well.
I must tell you, I'm personally very excited because I've seen many people I know on the list. There are many people that I just want to hear what they have to say, and there are many people that I just want to be able to learn what can I take from their journey. Like someone like Mr. Yusuf Garda, who I love.
On our sports and literature panel.
Absolutely, and if you ever heard this man, he is a wealth of information, not just from the sports side, but even on his information that he has on Shakespeare, on his literature. I'm on his mailing list, so I get snippets of it every now and again. But he's someone that I'd love to be sitting in the session just to take information from. And I often think that, you know, we always complain we don't have access to this. And this is what Josie Books and Blogs is doing. You're saying, well, here's all the access.
Here's the access. And also another thing is we're not encouraging kids to read, because I mean parents have this type of thing, this type of attitude. My son doesn't want to read. It's not that. It's inspiring them to write. That's the thing.
That's
it's
brilliant.
inspiring
I love
them
that.
to write.
For Munira, for you, what would be one of your highlights for this coming weekend?
Well, I think, like you say, meeting with people that inspire us, that we aspire to as well, and then the locals that we know, but as well as the legends that are going to be there.
Yes.
And I think for for our public, at the point where people love meeting and greeting with celebrities and authors, we're going to have a proper meet and greet session with your bloggers, with your favorite authors. So after they've done in their panel discussions, you can go up to them. You're going to have the interaction with them. So we've got that section with them, as well as where the stalls are happening. So you're going to get to see their books, feel their books, touch their books, and get to see what it's all about. And then we've also got a photographic exhibition happening in the foyer of the Petida Theatre. It's going to be running throughout the day. And we've got Uncle Fakir Hassan, who's a stalwart in the community.
Absolutely.
His name has always been there with all events that have happened throughout Lenasia and joining communities. So he's going to be there with his photographic exhibition, and he's got photographs that'll take you through the ages of lands as well.
Oh, wow.
And we've got Salia Idris Bamji with her photographic exhibition.
We love her.
As well as Roshkold's Photo Club. So,
brilliant.
Yes. So we thought, that's also a way for a chance to showcase to kids that there is another opportunity to also get into books and writing, and it doesn't only have to be just, it can be from any kind of niche that you are involved in.
Yes. So I love the fact that you're offering different mediums to tell different stories, because there's always a number of ways to tell stories. Fantastic.
And then Praveen Gordon is even opening
that
the
I
festival.
heard. That was the high. I saw that,
highlight.
and that's absolutely remarkable. But what's amazing about the Josie Books and Blogs Festival is it's not just people in our community. It's a huge community event. It's not just local names that you know. It's a truly collaborative South African effort. And that's what I love about it. And I love the fact that it's making it accessible to every single person to be able to attend. We have to take a short break. When we get back, we're going to be talking about the admin and logistics, and for you to find out exactly how to get there and all the details about the event. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to iTREND on ITV. I absolutely love watching the ads that play during the ad breaks, because I know so many of those stores and they're absolutely phenomenal. We're talking in our session today with the directors and owners of the Josie Books and Blogs Festival, who are telling us about what is in store for us. Zaheerah and Munira, is this taking place just on the one day?
Yes, it's
so
on
this
one.
is a lot taking place just on Sunday.
Yes, and it's been a lot to manage.
I'm sure. And I don't think anyone actually realizes how much of work goes into making sure this event runs so smoothly through the day.
Yeah.
You mentioned while we were off air, we were talking about a session about bringing culture back into schools.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so our kids read Harry Potter, but they don't relate to witches, they don't relate to all of that. Shafina Sassam has written Nisa Kamal about the jinns. So it's relating, we relate to jinns, so we relate to that. But there's so few books like that. So we've got a session at Josie's Books and Blogs. It's happening at 1400 hours. And it's happening in the yellow room. I also know which room. That's how I know well the program. And it's with Eleanor Sisulu, chaired by Aisha Kaji. And it's going to be a discussion about how can we take our cultural stories back into the schools. Because back in the apartheid days, we had all these white Afrikaner type of stories, and now we have a lot of black focused stories. But we don't have our own Indian stories. And we ran the South African bedtime storybook as part of the Josie's Books and Blogs competition to try and get those type of stories. But it's so crazy that our kids don't relate to being Indian South African, Hindu South African, Muslim South African. It was more the whole story of them being writing stories about Seppo and writing stories about the Kruger Park and writing stories about those type of African type of stories, but forgetting that we are also South African. Okay,
so basically what you're saying is we are a rainbow nation. There's a place for everything, but you're saying be proud of your own identity and mirror that into your South African stories.
But our kids are not seeing that. And the reason why they're not seeing is because our own cultural stories are not in schools.
Yes.
You see, they're not relating that. They're not relating that whole thing.
So you're saying schools need to open up to all cultures.
Yes. So the discussion that we're going to be having with Aisha Kaji is how do we open this discussion? Because Shafina's Hassam is also going to be on there. So Haila Kids, Zaheerah Chauhan from Haila Kids, because she sells these type of books.
Yes.
That will be, but we don't have those type of books authored by authors here in South Africa. We've got lots of them from overseas, but we don't have South African stories.
So we're saying to writers, get in touch with and be proud of whether you're Greek, whether you're Portuguese, whether you're Indian, whatever it is, just get in touch with it.
Yes.
I loved Shafinaz's book. We actually did preview it on the show, and my kids and I absolutely loved it. But Zaheerah, I see you are also becoming a surprise author that we didn't know about.
So that's the thing. I actually read up Salam Reads in the UK
Yes.
was looking for manuscripts
Yes.
where they wanted authors to get in touch with writing stories that show others that Muslims are not about terrorism. Muslims are us. We have daily lives where we go on doing our daily things. And I wrote this book about my own kids, about how they go through their bedtime routine. But there's also a surprise that happens. So they keep on asking me, what is the surprise? But the book shows, it shows how my own culture comes in. So you'll even see, like even in the book, how I'm dressed in the story with my scarf on.
Yes.
And things like that. So it's like, it gets into touch with how we Muslims, how we dress, what we do, that type of thing. And we need more of these type of books to get it into the schools. So that discussion is going to be about how do we get it into the schools.
And I think also the good thing about bringing books like this in is the fact that it opens up doors to communication. Yes. And that's how you dispel a lot of the myths regarding how Muslims are perceived in the media as compared to saying, you know what, actually it's just real, it's normal, and let's have this discussion. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity to have that as well. So we are looking forward to a photographic exhibition. We've got authors, we've got bloggers, we've got group discussions, we've got writing events taking place. How are any of our viewers able to access this information to know what they would like to choose to be at during the day?
Okay, so we've got a website. It's called josiesbbf.com. And everything is on there. The full program. The program is broken up into the adults program, the children's program, and the teens program. It's 3 time slots, and the 3 time slots run across all the programs. So if a mother says, okay, I'm going to leave my 7-year-old at the children's and I'll get her in the next time slot, then all the time slots work the same.
Great, because that's
there's a 15-minute break between the time slots, so then they can always move between sessions.
Okay, and all within the same premises. Safety is considered when kids are left into one, because if I'm sitting in one of the adult sessions, I can easily go back to fetch my kids afterwards.
But we encourage parents that have kids younger than 7 to rather stay with their kids.
Which is reasonable, absolutely. Yeah. I know the one question everyone messages me about, and I know I'm going to get this after the show, is will there be food available so no one has to leave the place in order to go and get some meals?
Yeah. Now, SBSM school is a vegetarian, it's a Hindu school, so there's going to be chip rolls and savories available.
That works. But that works.
And there'll be coffee and tea, because last year we had the whole story that Don Matera wanted to sit in the sun and have his cup of coffee, so there's going to be coffee and tea being sold.
That works. And I think you'll need enough coffee to get you through rushing around from one session to the next, so at least you're sorting that out.
So the grade 11s of the school have taken it upon themselves to do a fundraiser for their matric function or something.
Fantastic.
So they're going to be selling the refreshments.
I love how collaborative this is, that it's also giving back to the same community. So this is an event that's bringing authors from around South Africa to Lenasia and then giving back into the Lenasia community all over again.
But that's the thing with this year. It's like really amazing. The school has come on board. Like fully on board. They've done like everything that I've wanted has been on board, you know?
So for the two of you to watch this grow and to sit back and say that this is, although it's a lot more work, I have no doubt about that, but to watch it grow and almost take a life of its own now. This is a 1-year-old baby. Alhamdulillah, that must feel really good that you've taken a dream, something that you were very keen on starting. I remember when we had our initial discussions and there was a little bit of a nervousness saying, you know, this is something I've always wanted to do. But to watch how it's grown and how many people are buying into it and how many of us are saying, oh my goodness, I'm coming with my family and I want my kids to be a part of this. That must feel really good at this point.
I hope it's a success.
Inshallah, it will be. Inshallah, it will be.
Because now we're competing with the halal goods fest.
I think there's place for both.
Fill their stomachs than come for.
You know, to be honest with you, I think there's place for both. I really think there is, because people, and Fems will be very happy about it as well, because it means that her guests get staggered, because they can come to the book festival and then come to the halal goods market. The ones that are at the halal goods market in the morning can head over to the Josie Books and Blogs. For me, that's the beautiful thing about being in Johannesburg. There's ample space for everyone and there's enough things to do. So it's all complementary. Fantastic. In terms of times, what time is this starting?
So it's starting at 10 o'clock. Praveen Gordon is opening up at 10 o'clock. We want people to be seated by 9:45.
Okay.
Just to have the whole thing flow, because that's my stress at the moment, let me just tell you, because I'm so worried that people will want to take selfies with Praveen. So it's going to like stagger everything, but I've like briefed everybody that sessions have to follow.
Yes.
So sessions start at 11:15.
And it will all be timelessly done.
Yeah, sessions
Fantastic.
are from the first slot of sessions is from 11:15 to 12 o'clock, then from 12:15 to 1 o'clock, and then it's all 1.5 hour sessions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
For people who aren't able to be there from 10 in the morning, they can come and go as they please?
They can come in as they go, as they want. And the entrance is gate 3.
Okay.
It's on Salvia Street in Lenasia. So they'll buy their tickets, 10 Rand and 5 Rand tickets, and they'll come in, and if they want to leave, they'll always have the tickets with them to come back in.
So they can come and go as they please as well. All right. And the address and that will be available on your website as well?
Yes, it's all available on there.
Is there a telephone number for those who don't have access or are finding it difficult to get access to information but would like to attend? Is there a telephone number that they can contact for more information?
I think that's my number. I don't know.
Yes. So, and you're happy to share that number? You can say it out and our viewers can take that number down.
Okay, it's 082 629 8663.
Perfect.
So we are all over Facebook and Instagram.
I've seen it everywhere. It's I don't know if Zaheerah is tagging me and everything, or it's just coming up and then it gets reposted. So I'm seeing everything that's happening. I'm very excited because a woman like Rehana Musaji, absolutely, she's one of the most dynamic women you've met. And I don't think if you sit in her presence and you listen to her speak, that woman is phenomenal. I love being around her because I just take so much from listening to her. And when I saw her, I thought, I can't wait to see what she has to say today. So I think there are a lot of people and profiles that are also uploaded on Facebook pages that you'll be able to access to see what these authors will be sharing with you. And I think they're also dynamic people within our community that we can learn so much from. So don't miss the opportunity to be able to access that information. Munira, for people who want to find out more about the stalls, has that been filled already, or is there still availability for people to contact you at the very last minute now to say we'd like to squeeze in?
Well, at the moment we would like to say it is filled. It is filled because, you know, we obviously have to do setup and everything tomorrow and Saturday. But yes, we will consider it. If it's something that we feel will add value and, you know, we can make space for it, then definitely they can contact us, G.
Perfect. And I think that's a wonderful thing because it's also giving access to entrepreneurs and it's giving access to saying, to putting money back into our own communities as well.
We have to tell you, we're not even charging for the stalls.
Yes.
We're
not charging. We have requested them to actually just donate 10% of their takings to the school because everything is going back to the school. Even the entrance fee ticket prices are going to the school.
So that's the one thing that I'd like to also make clear because very often people say, oh, why should we go? It's a profit. This is not a profit-making event. This is literally giving back to growing a community.
Like everybody has come on board for free. I'm telling you, we're all doing our own stuff.
We
like
haven't even charged, authors and panelists.
Nobody has. The only thing is I can say that the authors have donated books
for the competition,
but that's like adding to the value of it all.
Just talking about that, let's talk about this competition that was running. Tell me about the response that you had to it. You invited youngsters to write a story about bedtime story, again to bring in the cultural norms. What was the response to the writing competition?
So it was open to ages 4 to 19, and then we actually gave an extension of 1 week because people were complaining that it was exam time and all of that. But we didn't... Okay, in the age 10 to 14 category, we had a lot of entries, entries. For the cover book, so we were running 2 competitions. The one was a story, and the other one was where they had to design the cover book of a South African bedtime storybook. We only had 3 entries, which was really sad. But we had, for the story, we had lots of entries. And we've got our winners and all of that sorted. We'll be awarding them at 3:30 on the day in the Patidar Hall.
Fantastic.
So we have our awards where we're going to give also the winner of the Irtika competition.
Yes.
We're going to award her there as well.
Fantastic. So we are looking very forward to being a part of it and to being there and to seeing the whole thing unfold because I think it's one successful event after another. And inshallah, this will be another bee in your bonnet, so to say. Actually, no, this is another feather in your cap to say it's another success for you, inshallah. And may it always grow, may it grow bigger and bigger. And I love the fact that you do have everyone on board, and it is a proudly South African collaborative effort. And like you said, maybe with exposure to events like this, more children will be writing in and sending in more entries. And I hope that we do get to see more opportunities like that, because like I mentioned to Zaheerah off air, I was a lazy mother because my children did do their stories. I just forgot to submit it. So I do hope that we do see more opportunities, because I do think it gives children an opportunity to sit down and to actually write and to be creative. And that's what I love, is that you're affording them the opportunity for doing that.
Get away from the PlayStation and Xbox a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? From just reading, you get the creativity, your writing skills improve. There's so much that comes from it. And even from a therapy perspective, the amount of auditory processing that gets done in there, the language therapy that gets done in there, it's just phenomenal.
But also, if I could just say, just to urge mums to actually get their kids over there and to see the value in it, because this time what Zaheerah has done is she's got so much of kid talent involved. If you also see the profiling that she's done on Facebook, I mean, we have the Stacey Frew, who is so young, and she's a published author. We in the stalls, we actually have a girl called Rabia who runs Trendsetter Hijabi books.
She's wonderful.
She's going
mashallah.
to be there, and I mean, to see an entrepreneur of that age and to see the success she's already been, enjoying. It's all inspiration to kids that, you know what, there's so much you can do out there, and there's so much, and you don't have to wait to get started. With everything that's at our fingertips right now, our kids don't have to wait. We had to always wait for opportunities. There's so much out there, so they just have to go out there and grab it.
Absolutely. So shukran so much for joining us in the studio today to share with us what we can look forward to on Sunday. And I'm definitely looking very forward to being there with my family, inshallah.
So much.
That's where you need to be on Sunday. It's the Josie Books and Blogs Festival in Lenasia at the Petita Hall. Everything is available on Facebook, on Instagram, or on their website. All information with regards to which entrance, what road, and the time schedules for which authors to meet there. It is going to be a full session of interest, a full session of inspiration, and literally a wealth of skills that you can take home. As mums, don't just do it for yourselves, but do it for your children as well. I look forward to seeing you there on Sunday. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be talking about the next fabulous event happening over this weekend in Johannesburg. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to iTREND on ITV. I'm your host, Zaheerah Bham Ismail. We've just been chatting to the owners and directors of the Josie Books and Blogs Festival, an event taking place this Sunday that we all have much to look forward to. Another event taking place which has been phenomenal, we have seen social media bloggers going absolutely crazy in the build up to it, has been the halal goods market. We have seen it repeatedly on air, and now we have the jack in the box, the personality that's bigger than life, Fims, in our studio. Assalamu alaikum. You know, we always love being in your presence. It's absolutely addictive, alhamdulillah. Fims, tell us about the halal goods market.
Okay, so firstly, thank you for having me. It's great for you, a little bit nervous for us always. And I think the nerves are just because this is like the first one and it's the launch and we want to try and get everything right. But the halal goods market, the entire concept was basically to have a place to go to taste artisanal food. People are making food all the time, and what we want to do is we want to try and open that up to a market so that more people can come and taste different food, design. They can buy design goods, they can get sweet stuff, they can do all of that under one roof. So in the same way that there are already markets and concepts out there, the biggest thing for me was that it was difficult to find halal food.
Yes.
When you go to these markets. And that's actually how the idea came about around 2013-ish.
Yeah, I was going to say, you, from what I know, this is not something that was decided a few months ago. You've planned this for years and have spoken about doing this and bringing this to the community for many years.
Yeah.
And finally, it's come to fruition. But as I mentioned to Zaheerah and them also earlier, not many people know how much effort goes behind the scenes. And how long has this taken to actually put together?
I think the concept has been there for a long time, and we've been sort of planning and thinking about this solidly since last year. So last year we were like, we're doing this, we're finding our venue, we're just having it. We've had enough of going to places where we can't really enjoy good food. And something different, like not always your traditional stuff, because you always get your traditional shops and your franchises and all of that. We wanted people who are doing things differently. And I think that we started around 2016 sort of, going, okay, let's do this. 2017 we sort of announced it. But we opened up applications sort of, I think around March-ish or something. We closed applications in April. I think we got about 130 applications in. And that's not counting when we started really advertising.
That's fantastic.
We secured all our vendors by June. I think by mid-June we were done. This is all our vendors. And since then, all we've been doing is just the logistics behind it. It takes a lot out of you on top of everything else.
And I think, I've watched your admin process over social media, and I've watched social media bloggers reposting this event and this media pack that came up that created such a hype. It was well-timed. It was perfection. It was so professionally done. And I love the fact that you are putting excellence into this product. It's not just a fly-by-night product, because there's excellence in it, and it's so strongly with what we should be as Muslims that everything should have a form of excellence to it.
I think if you do something because you love it and you're passionate about it, it's going to come out in that anyway. And the biggest thing is that with my background in exhibition design and dealing with other exhibitions, you sort of get a feel for what things should look like. And the last thing we want something to be is just your average little, backyard market or something like that. We want to do something that sort of ups the level this time and really takes it to that artisanal level, something different, something interesting. So we've even thought about things like, how will the signage be for each vendor, those little things. And the marketing pack was actually, we thought that we wanted to get out to a few people, some influencers, some media and stuff like that. And we are overwhelmed ourselves with the way it's been taken. I mean, they really went all out. They had fun putting putting their little lays together. And people really related to it. They were asking us to buy boxes.
Absolutely. And what was nice was also you got introduced to the type of vendors that are going to be there. And what stood out for me so much was that Muslim vendors are so professional. Oh my goodness. From their packaging to their labeling to its perfection. It's not, if you actually have to look at the list of vendors, we'll get into that just now. I'm just talking about the pack that came. These are professional vendors. These are not just people saying, you know what, let me just stick some things into a packet, tie it up, and I'll send it through.
It's not a little organza bag.
It's professionalism at every level. And I've chatted to a few of the vendors before our interview to ask them about their feel for it. And many were talking about the amount of work they're putting into it, because they feel they have to live up to a standard, because Halal Goods Market is saying there's a standard that you need to give out, and we won't take anything less than that. And for me, that's impressive.
I think the important thing that we've spoken with our vendors about is that they need to take their products and think of it like a business. You are a little business that's literally promoting yourself to a market that's not specifically a certain demographic or a certain religious affiliation or certain cultural affiliation. It's a market that we want to open to all, because halal food is something that should be accessible to everyone. It's not just to a Muslim person. And the other thing we want to do is we want to say, this is everything. This is our best that we can give. And let's try it. I mean, we're not just known for samosas, although there will be samosas there. But we can do sushi. We can do Korean food. We can do different things all the time. We can do cakes, popcorns, everything. Look, sweet, savory, everything. But modest way. We can make our own products. We can have we've got craft workshops happening for little kids there. It's going to be so much fun.
And if there's anyone in the tourism industry or the hospitality industry, this is probably the place to tap into, because as Fem said, you are seeing the creme de la creme of what South Africa has to offer for Halal Goods Market, not just from food, but in crafts as well. And I think it's such a wonderful way, because we know the halal industry is booming. It's a thriving market. There are articles after articles coming up about it.
It's a $1 trillion industry.
Absolutely.
And we haven't tapped into it. I mean, as a South African market, we haven't tapped into it. If you look overseas, Toronto has a halal food fest. UK has it. It's taken us so long to get to a point where we can do this. There's an incredible market in South Africa for this. We just need to get to it. And like you said, I love that the businesses are treating themselves as professionals.
Yes.
So when they're putting something out there, they're making sure that it's not just, you know, thrown on a paper plate and given to you. They've thought about how it's going to look even when you get the product.
Oh, like, I'll give you an example. The Whimsical Whisk has been stressing about boxes. And I've actually said to her, you are stressing about a packaging. And she said, it has to look perfect when it gets to the customer.
Yeah.
So there's so much going into that. And for me, that's hugely important.
Yeah.
Because as a customer walking in there, I want to know that if this is what I'm coming for, it needs to be at a level of excellence as well.
Agreed. I mean, somebody like the Chings, they getting personalized aprons made so that the entire outfit, not just the food, they also look presentable, you know, in that sense to the market. And those little things make such a big difference.
This has been such a hype, and it really has, because everyone, the one thing that we love food.
Yes.
We all love food, and we love good food, and we make no excuses for that, and we do demand a certain level of good food. And that's what I said to Fems earlier, is that if we are coming, we want food, and we want good food because that's who we are, and that's what the halal goods market is promising. We're going to take a quick ad break. When we get back, we're going to go through a few of the vendors that will be available, as well as details about the event. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we are discussing the halal goods market with famous Fems. Fems, the halal goods market is taking place this weekend in Johannesburg. Give us some details in terms of time, venue, and cost of attending this event.
Free entry.
I love that.
It's a market. Come, go, come, go, come, go. We want people to come in, mull about. You know, they can come as they come and go as they please. Time Saturday 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Sunday we're starting off early at about 9:30 till about 4:30 p.m. We originally were stopping at 3 p.m. but we've decided to extend Sunday to 4:30 so that anybody who wants to come can make it.
Fantastic.
So if you're going to the Josie Books and Blogs Festival, go, enjoy, come to us afterwards, we'll feed you.
I love that. So you feed, as we mentioned earlier,
Exactly.
feeding mind and tummy. I love the fact that you're also making it accessible for everybody. Yeah. It's a very convenient location. It's sitting in, give us the address.
It's at the Tin Factory, 20 Archimedes Street in Kramerville in Sandton. We like the Kramerville district. It's a nice design district, and it's a nice space to have it in the on the weekend. The other thing that we like about the market is that this is not going to be first and only one for the year.
Yes.
We want the market to become something that's sustainable and that continues for a while. So we may not always have exactly the same vendors. We want to try and keep the variety there. So we'll change the people up. We'll do all of that. But we're very excited that it's going to be something that's more sustainable. It's not a once-off.
Absolutely.
Event.
Safety, security, parking, all been sorted?
Sorted. Parking generally in the Kramerville district.
It's always, yes, it goes.
You know, so what I would say is don't expect to park at the entrance of the venue always. There's parking literally the second street away, the first street away, and the street of.
Great.
It's enough.
Or take
hopefully.
a lift.
Catch an
carpool.
Uber,
Catch an Uber. Do something.
Carpool.
Absolutely. Fems, with people coming to the event, the one thing I know, as much as we love our food, we're very impatient people.
Yes.
Because we expect to come there, we expect food to be served immediately. Tell us about the process, because obviously there are going to be huge crowds, because from what I'm seeing on social media, people are coming in from all over the country for this. Specifically,
Yes.
no pressure, but let us also be realistic about the fact that when people come in there will be queues.
Yeah.
There will be a process of having to wait for your food. So just talk us through that.
I think that what we need to understand as buyers, like if I'm thinking consumer side, what I need to understand as a consumer is that artisanal food is handmade. It's made then, it's made fresh. We're not doing mass produced here. We don't have a massive operation. These people are working in limited space, trying to serve to you the best, the freshest that they have.
Yes.
So it will take a little bit of time. They are working on portion quantities. These are small businesses. We are not your regular next door franchise. What you're doing is you're coming out and you're supporting a business.
Yes.
If there's a long queue, try something else, go and mill about, whatever, you know. Let's try and limit the congestion by rather just trying and seeing try something different.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Are there places for people to be seated at? Because when we come, we want to be seated somewhere. You want to have a bit of family time. Will there be space available?
Yeah. What we've done is that we've gotten in a whole lot of chairs and tables so that people can sit. We've pushed it upstairs so that they have a view over of the market so that they can look down and see the chaos and the organized, fantastic, edible chaos that's going on downstairs. And we've also put the people with design items like your clothing and your products and all of that upstairs so that they can see those in peace. It's a really nice space for them to play. And what we've also done is that we've tried to encourage most of the vendors to get things like SnapScan, Yoko, credit card machines.
I was just going to ask you about that.
I'm not saying everybody has it, but we've also organized for ATMs to be at the event so that if anybody needs to withdraw cash, there's an ATM right there.
Great.
Credit card facilities, and look, if you don't want to be in a line at the ATM, get your cash beforehand.
Make sure you're organized as well.
Yes.
What are the highlights that we can look forward to? Because I'm seeing vendors coming from out of town as well. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I can't even give you a highlight. We've got 67. There's a few people that are just Saturday and just Sunday, but we've got about 67 different people that people can try. And I can't pick out a favorite. There's clothing that I've looked at. They've sent me pictures and I love it, you know. There's food that I'm going, I can't wait. I've never tried this, the Cookney pancake. I've never tried
I saw that yesterday on social media.
It's so interesting. I'm still yet to have a proper Haji Ali sandwich, and I can't wait for that. So there's so many things. And we've got sort of differences. We've got Middle Eastern dips coming. We've got a Syrian shawarma is coming, baklava.
I have to tell you one of my highlights, and I've never tasted a bunny chow. So I saw that is coming, the bunny chow.
It's coming.
So I'm very keen to actually go with my family and to try that out.
And sushi burritos. I mean, I love sushi. But one of the things I try to do is I try to make sure that I go to a place that serves halal, because I don't know what the places. Look, I know that the different sushi bars are different, but to know that we're going to have somebody making sushi fresh there and trying out a sushi burrito for the first time, I'm almost like giddy with excitement.
And I love the fact that you've got everything halal. The minute you walk in, you don't have to worry about a single thing you're eating. So if you see this list of vendors, you literally have to just plan your direction, like I'm doing, is literally plan where you're walking from and what you're getting, what will be take-home things, what will be things you'll be having for tea, what will be things you're having for lunch. And it's a wonderful time to also just socialize, to network. And for me, the biggest thing that you've done from all of this is you're promoting entrepreneurs in our community. And for me, that's huge, because this is an opportunity for people to just get their names out there. A lot of the names on your vendor list are people we know, but there's a lot that I have never heard of before, which I'm absolutely in awe of, because I cannot believe the talent in our community.
There's a lot of people that are debuting basically at the market, and there's some people that are debuting new flavors at the market. So that's so interesting for me, because that's the other thing with, like, this is their first time. So we also have to understand that they are learning the crowd as much as the crowd is learning about them. And I mean, sushi people are new. Bunny Bar is coming for the first time. Cake Slice Bar is coming for the first time. La Dolce Vita is coming all the way from Nelspruit for the first time. We've got modest fashion people coming from Cape Town. We've got people like Sugarlicious coming from Durban. Ice Cream coming from Durban. It's going to be incredible.
It's the best of halal goods markets in South Africa.
And there's no alcohol and no haram food. So
absolutely.
Got it all.
For you in this process, what has been the highlight?
Sure, I can't pinpoint exact things, but my biggest thing is that interacting with all the vendors and seeing how each of them help each other. Everybody's there to help each other grow. So if somebody's looking for something, I mean, we have a little group and somebody's looking for something and they'll go, I can't find this. And you'll get 5 people that come back and say, this is who I use. This is my supplier for this.
Fantastic.
And that collaborative nature is exactly what we need. We need to sort of break things of keeping our cards close and saying, this is my person. We're sharing.
Absolutely. And for me, that's huge, because it ties back to understanding that your Rosie is your Rosie. What's due for you will come to you. So even if you are helping someone else who is standing in a halal goods market right next to you, your Rosie is still yours. But the fact that you're willing to build up a fellow Muslim, for me, is that's ultimate success.
And they're all excited to taste each other's stuff or buy from each other. And they're going, I can't wait to come to your stall because I want to taste this and I see this. I love it.
Fantastic.
It's amazing.
For the people out there, also, we discussed what your highlight is, and I take that. It's an absolute success to be able to get that done. For you, what has been the most difficult part of this event?
Administration. It's always administration. I mean, the hardest thing is to sit and plan everything and do everything. And when you're a small operation, because you're starting things out and you've got higher costs related to things, you almost manage most of everything yourself. I mean, it's me, my husband, and a couple of other people. It's not a lot of people. So the administration to get everything right, to touch everybody, to get the social media timing right, to get all of the, to get everybody to speak. The bloggers thing, just to get them all to speak at the same time was amazing, But there's administration that's involved behind all of that, just getting them their packages,
Absolutely.
But for now, our biggest crunch is, yes, the administration and the setup.
Fems, many people were upset that they never made the list or never got to it. Let's just, before we end up closing up, because I'm sure we are running short on time and there's quite a bit we still need to discuss. What was the process of almost choosing people to be at this event?
The way it worked was application basis. So everybody, you don't just come through and say, I want to stall. It doesn't happen that way. You apply through an application online, and that application goes to a committee, and the committee says, yay, nay, we like the products, we need to see pictures, those sort of things. But our biggest thing also was to limit duplication.
Yes.
So we've tried to make it so that the most we have is 2 types of something
of the same
happening.
Thing. Yes.
So that you don't get 20 people who are serving the same product. So if it went on a first come, first serve basis, it's likely that could happen. Which is why we went with the apply, so that you can get through, and a committee can look at that and say, okay, we have a good mix.
Yes.
So if you haven't made it this time, you will likely make it the next time, but it doesn't mean be despondent. Just keep applying and see, because it's not like we said, I like this person, so I want this person. We try to keep the process as non-biased as possible, so that it's not me deciding. It's a committee of people deciding and saying, okay, yes, okay, no. And if they disagree, they can discuss it and say, I want this person, I don't want that person. And that's exactly what happened. Some people went, no, there's too many of this. So before we even announced back to the vendors to say, yes, you've been chosen, that all went through a committee. So anybody who was applying afterwards and haven't heard from us either, please give us time. After the market, we'll look again.
So we're making sure that as the Muslim population in South Africa, we are demanding that this is not the first or the last of it, that we will have this more often, because we really are looking forward to it. The fact that we know there's talent within our community. I mean, I'm coming there also saying, oh my goodness, I'll know who to tap into when I'm having an event, or I know who to tap into or who to call for this, because you've almost eased up that process for us and said, here's the vendors available to you.
It's almost like you have 60 live bars or whatever that you want to have at your next party. So you want to have a chart pop up, these are the guys to call,
Yes.
You want to have a Asian wings pop up, these are the people to call.
So I'm hoping there's Imli fries somewhere along there, because that is what I am looking for.
There's Imli fries.
Okay.
There's Imli fries.
Fems, we wish you and your team absolute success over this weekend. I have no doubt there's a lot of work still happening. We thank you so much for making the time to come and chat to us about it. We look forward to supporting all the vendors that are taking their time over this weekend. We know it's stressful for them, and we know the amount of work going with them. So please be patient with them. Be polite when you go and buy food. Understand that it is a process. As Fems has mentioned, they are making fresh food. If people were preparing food beforehand and bringing it to you and selling you stale food, you'll get your food on time. But they are preparing it there. It is going to be very busy. Everyone is coming. So please do be patient and be kind.
And as a first event, we can't not expect that there's going to be some teething problems. We learn from every single time. So inshallah, it goes off well. Forgive us in advance if anything doesn't go your way. But come out. Basically, just come, have fun, eat.
We look forward to seeing you there. This is the halal goods market that will be taking place this weekend on Saturday and Sunday in the Cromerville area at Tin Factory. You can see it all over social media. There's also the Josie Books and Blogs Festival taking place on Sunday in the Lenasia area. Both events have free one event, the Halal Goods Market, has free access. The Books and Blogs Festival has a minimum costing into it, but all the money is going back into the community. Both events both events are promoting talent within our community. It's a proudly South African initiative, and it's giving back to people, to helping businesses grow within our community. So please do go out there, go and lend support, go and take time out, close your kitchens for the weekend. There's enough food being made that you can feed your entire family, invite everyone over and have the best of halal food available at your table after you visit the Halal Goods Market. Shukran so much for joining us on air. We look forward to seeing you same time, same place next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.